Hello and welcome. In this explainer, we're diving into some really intense ancient narratives, stories where the divine steps right into human lives. We're going to go straight to the source text to see what it can tell us about the nature of God and, well, the rules for the rest of us.
And we're starting with what might just be one of the most jarring commands ever written down. I mean, wow, this one sentence, it just opens up so many questions about faith, about obedience, and what God is really all about.
And that really is the heart of what we're looking at today. If we take these biblical encounters as our source material, what kind of picture do they paint? What can we really learn about the divine character and the kind of code of conduct expected from people?
Okay, so first things first, let's get the lay of the land. We're going to map out the key stories that we're drawing from, and you'll see they're all connected, following the patriarch Abraham and his family.
The story arc we're looking at is just huge. Seriously, it kicks off with this miraculous promise of a son, then it swerves into this high-stakes negotiation for a city on the brink of destruction, and it all builds to this absolutely heart-stopping test on a mountain. Every single one of these moments is just packed with drama.
So, what do these stories actually tell us about God's character? If we look at the actions and the words in the text, we can start to piece together a kind of portrait. So, what kind of being are we dealing with here?
First up, the text presents God as a judge, but it's not random. It's really interesting because when Abraham challenges God about destroying Sodom, he actually appeals to this sense of justice, asking, "Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?" That suggests there's a standard of fairness that even God is expected to follow.
Next, there's this huge emphasis on faithfulness. You've got to remember, Abraham and Sarah are way too old to have kids. The promise of a son just seems impossible, biologically speaking. But the text hammers this point home. God keeps his word. The promise is fulfilled right on schedule, exactly when God said it would be.
And even when you see this terrifying judgment happening, you also see these acts of mercy. Right as Sodom is about to be wiped out, the text says the angels literally grab Lot and his family and drag them to safety. Why? Because, and I'm quoting here, "the Lord being merciful unto him."
This next one, power. Well, it's pretty much the foundation for everything else. I mean, think about it. From giving a child to a 100-year-old man and a 90-year-old woman to making fire rain from the sky, the source makes it clear that this is a power completely beyond anything humans can do or even really comprehend.
Okay, so we've got this picture of God, just, faithful, merciful, and all-powerful. So what does that mean for the people on the ground? What are the rules of engagement here for the relationship between God and humanity?
It seems to boil down to a pretty clear hierarchy. People are expected to show reverence. You see them bowing down to the ground. They're expected to have faith, to trust in these promises that seem absolutely crazy. And then there's the big one. They have to obey commands, no questions asked, which, as we know, leads to that ultimate test with Isaac.
But what's really interesting is that the source material isn't just about how to interact with God. It also lays out a pretty clear, though sometimes complicated, set of rules for how people should treat each other.
And the striking thing is, these aren't just vague ideas. They are all about action. Hospitality isn't just saying welcome, it's washing a guest's feet and cooking them a meal. Justice isn't just a concept, it's actively arguing to save innocent people. And protection means you defend your guests no matter what.
But it's not always black and white. The text throws some serious moral curveballs at us. Honesty is a big deal, right? But then you have Abraham straight up deceiving a king about his wife. His reasoning? He was scared for his life, and he figured a place without the fear of God would be lawless. It pits honesty against self-preservation.
And we have to talk about the food, because it's so important to this whole code of conduct. This is not about offering someone a bag of chips. Abram serves up a whole calf, with butter, milk, and fresh cakes. Lot throws a feast. In these stories, sharing a meal is a huge deal. It's the ultimate sign of welcome, respect, and safety.
Which brings us full circle, right back to where we started this whole explainer, that ultimate test of Abraham's obedience. This is the moment where all these rules, all these attributes we've been talking about, just crash into each other.
And then, at the very, very last second, an angel steps in. The command is taken back, and we find out this whole horrible ordeal was a test. And what was God testing for? The text is explicit. It wasn't love, it was fear, a profound, all-encompassing reverence and awe.
So what's the reward for passing this terrifying test? It's the ultimate blessing. That act of near sacrifice cements the deal, the covenant, between God and Abraham. His obedience is the key that unlocks that incredible promise for his descendants, that they'll be as numerous as the stars in the sky.
So in the end, the world we see in these texts is one of incredible, magnificent promises, but also of incredibly severe tests. It really leaves you wondering about the deep, and let's be honest, often uncomfortable tension at the core of this relationship. It leaves us with this question: where exactly is the line between faith and fear?